Zach Roloff, star of Little People, Big World, sold his home for $1.2 million. Officially, Tori and Zach Roloff are no longer together. And lastly, the arrest of Tori Roloff. Tori Roloff's arrest. Why? I'll tell you all about it. Everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're delving deeply into a tale that Little People, Big World fans have been talking about. Through love, joy, and the difficulties of raising a family, Zach and Tori Roloff have shared their lives with us for almost 20 years. However, Zach and Tori left the show in 2024 in search of a more sedate existence. They had no idea that their story would soon take a drastic turn, and neither did we. For $1.2 million, a house sold, an arrest that shocked everyone, and a divorce that crushed hearts. This is Zach and Tori Roloff's undiscovered story. A story of love, grief, and perseverance. Online rumors started to circulate by early 2025. There was a problem between Tori and Zach. The once unbreakable pair was beginning to exhibit signs of weakness. Next came the news that validated the fears of many. Their union was over. Let's start with the first significant hint, though, which is the selling of their house in Washington. Zach Roloff made a move in June 2025 that shocked the Little People, Big World fandom. He put the Washington house of the family up for sale for $1.2 million. This was no ordinary home. After leaving Oregon in 2021, Zach, Tori, and their children had established their lives there. Were bought for almost $1 million. This 3,300-foot sanctuary was a representation of their new beginning years ago. An open floor layout, a large kitchen with shiny granite, 3 bathrooms, 4 bedrooms, and a warm fireplace. For an expanding family, it was the ideal house. However, that dream was dwindling by the middle of 2025. The couple's choice to sell was both pragmatic and intensely emotional, according to people close to them. The mansion had turned into a melancholy remembrance of better days, with whispers of marital discord circulating. Here, in the center of the house, is Zach. This kitchen was more than just a place to prepare food. Tori made Jackson's first birthday cake there, where Lila put frosting over her cheeks and giggled. Joa's initial shaky steps were taken there. Zach constructed a makeshift soccer goal for Jackson in the 2 acres of the backyard, where the children could run about freely. There was a memory around every bend. However, those were no longer entirely happy memories. Zach. The house wasn't easy to sell. We really put our all into this location. It was how we got away from the mayhem of the program, our secure area. But eventually, it began to seem heavy, as if each room was clinging to something that we were unable to resolve. After discussing it with Tori, we decided it was time to move on. When we decided, Tori, I started crying. We bonded as a family in that house. I can still hear Jackson's laugh coming from the playroom as he runs down the hallway. However, it also brought up memories of the arguments and late evenings when we were unable to see eye to eye. It was like shutting a book when I sold it. Wasn't prepared to complete. I knew that was the proper thing to do, though. In June, the property went up for sale. And that was a jewel, I must say. Modern architecture, 2 acres, and a touch of the countryside despite being close to the city. There was a line of buyers. Their improvements and the growing market were reflected in the $1.2 million price tag. To be honest, it sold more quickly than we anticipated. On June 15, 2025, the official announcement was made. The house sold. Although the more than $200,000 profit was a financial benefit, people claim the transaction was more about leaving rather than making money. Given that their marriage was allegedly in trouble, dividing the money was a means of ensuring justice while they dealt with the future. Source: Zach desired a fresh start. Tori didn't want to stay there either, and the house was too large for him alone. They decided to split the proceeds from its sale. At that moment, it was one of the few things they could agree on. Imagine this. Tori is going through photo albums, and Zach is packing toys. Why are we leaving? Asked the children. It was more than a simple house sale. An era came to an end. It also prepared the ground for the more significant news that would shortly be released. The romance between Zach and Tori will go on throughout history. Zach, the reserve, noticed Tori, a tall, vivacious woman, while she was working on the Roloff farm. With hundreds of guests, a rustic ceremony, and a vow to tackle the world together, their 2015 wedding was a tiny people, big world event. They did that for 10 years. 3 children, Joa in 2022, Lilith in 2019, and Jackson in 2017. After innumerable memories, they became the couple that supporters cheered for. However, that fairy tale ended in August 2025. Court records on August 12, 2025, verified the months-long rumors. Officially, Zach and Tori Roloff were no longer together. Irreconcilable conflicts were listed as the reason. However, what caused this tragic breakup? Let's go back in time and examine the path that led them to this point. Their union wasn't flawless. Whose is it? There were hints of tension on the show. The move to Washington in 2021 was significant, removing them from the support system of the Roloff family. The constant juggling act of parenting in the spotlight, medical appointments, social pressures, and special problems came with raising 3 children with achondroplasia. These tensions accumulated over time, according to sources. Public life can intensify any marital stress, according to marriage counselors. Raising children with dwarfism adds another layer of challenges for Zach and Tori, including dealing with identity, education, and health concerns. Any couple would find it to be a lot. If there is a breakdown in communication, such fissures may become canyons. We battled for it, Tori. We love each other very deeply, 11 years, yet it felt like we were slipping away in the last few years. We were kept going by the children, but we were unable to reconnect. The most difficult decision I have ever made was to get a divorce. However, I believe we both needed it. I will always be concerned about Tori, Zach. She has been my companion for 10 years and is the mother of my children. However, we reached a point when it was more detrimental to us to continue together than assisting. We wanted to demonstrate to Jackson, Layla, and Joa that choosing happiness is acceptable, even if it doesn't look like what we had in mind. Surprisingly, the divorce deal was friendly. A commitment to co-parenting, a just distribution of assets, including the proceeds from the sale of the property, and joint custody of the children. However, a family in transition was hidden under the legalese. Why can't you and mom live together anymore, Jackson, Dad? Sometimes parents find that living apart makes them better buddies. Zach, buddy. It does not lessen our affection for you. It indicates that we wish to provide you our best effort. Jackson, you'll still see us both frequently. All okay, Dad. I simply miss the old days. Zach, I agree, youngster. We will, however, make this work. I swear. It was toughest on Jackson, who is now 8 years old. Joa, 3, and Leela, 5, were younger, but everyone sensed the shift. Tori remained in a rental until she could settle in, while Zach moved into a smaller apartment close by. They observed birthdays and family customs, gatherings, school functions, and a commitment to maintaining stability for the children. They are making every effort to protect the children from the mess. Tori and Zach are still a team even though they are no longer a couple. They have been seen laughing like old times together at Jackson's soccer matches. Although it's not flawless, it's a step forward. The Roloff clan was affected by the divorce. Zach's mother, Amy, was devastated but encouraging. His father, Matt, commended their maturity. Zach's twin, Audrey, and even Jeremy, sister-in-law, extended a loving hand. It pains me to see my son go through this, Amy. However, I'm really pleased with the way he and Tori are managing it. What important is that they are prioritizing the children. Matt. Life can be unpredictable. Tori and Zach are handling this one gracefully. For them, we're all here. It will always remain. Zach and Tori were settling into their roles as co-parents by the end of the summer of 2025. However, just when it appeared that things had returned to normal, another shocking revelation was made that would put them even more. Tonight's news anchor is breaking the news. Little people, big world star Tori Roloff was arrested in Washington for driving while intoxicated. Late last night, the 34-year-old was stopped for allegedly driving erratically. She is scheduled to appear in court next month after being released on bail this morning, October 15, 2025. That night would alter everything once more. The mother who fans loved for her warmth and honesty, Tori Roloff, ended up in handcuffs. Everyone was astonished by the story. How did this happen? Let's dissect it. The police report states that at approximately 11 p.m., Tori was on her way home when someone saw a car swerving on a comm road and contacted 911. She failed a field sobriety test after being pulled over by the police. She had slightly more alcohol in her blood than was permitted. She was arrested overnight for this error. She was released on bail by morning, but the harm had already been done. I'm really sorry, Tori. To our fans, my family, and my children, I made a mistake. I made a horrible decision while I was in a poor mood. I take complete accountability, and I'm receiving assistance to ensure that this doesn't occur again. I'm going to improve, and my children deserve better. Why had Tori come to this? According to sources, the woman is under stress. She had to balance being a single mother, her finances, and the emotional consequences from the divorce. They say that night was the tipping moment. Source: Tori felt worn out. She had a difficult day, and Zach was with the kids. You name it, moving stress, court matters, etc. She had dinner with a pal. Believed she was okay to drive after having a few drinks. It wasn't a pattern, just a mistake in judgment, but it was sufficient. Imagine Tori that evening, all by herself in a strange area, with the burden of the last year bearing down on her. She didn't like to go out. She hit a wall as a mother. And that one choice became widely publicized. Psychologist: divorce can set off a chain reaction of feelings. Fear, remorse, and grief. Alcohol turns become a crutch for certain people. This is not unique to Tori. It's typical. Her desire for support, guidance, and assistance is crucial. That is not a sign of weakness, but strength. My first thought upon learning of the arrest, Zach, was of the children. Their mother is Tori. She is a person. She faltered. It's not my place to condemn her. My purpose is to help her. Right now, we've got each other's backs. Zach made no hesitation. He spent a couple more days with the children. Allowed Tori time to gather. Supporters were split. She was criticized by some. She was supported by others. However, the Roffs remained close throughout. Tori's part, Amy, of our family, whether or not we divorce. She was wrong, but who hasn't been wrong? We are praying for her and offering our support in any way we can. In November 2025, Tori entered a guilty plea to the DUI allegation. A low punishment that serves as a wake-up call, along with mandated counseling and a fine for community service. She has promised to change it, and people who care about her think she will. By the end of 2025, Zach and Tori were reassembling their life as a family rather than a couple. The home has vanished. Tori was rebuilding following the ultimate divorce. Her detention. Jackson, Lila, and Joa were their main emphasis. Zach, we began this podcast in order to tell our story. It's all ups and downs. What we have created is not destroyed by divorce. For the sake of our children, we remain united. I'm learning, Tori, even if I'm not proud of every decision I've made. We want our children to perceive us as flawed but striving individuals. Their lifeline, a means of processing, connecting, and demonstrating to the world that they were not giving up, was Raising Heights. Incidents pertaining to healing, co-parenting. And millions of people listened to Tori's arrest as well. It demonstrated their tenacity and was honest and unvarnished. Tori found comfort behind the camera and plunged back into her photography. Zach established a new routine by taking over as coach of Jackson's soccer squad. The couple from the farm had changed. They were novel. In the end, they are stronger apart than together. Tori is finding herself again, and Zach has found his rhythm again. The children are doing well. That's what keeps them moving. They had the support of the Roffs. Holidays were hosted by Amy. Matt gave guidance. Audrey and Jeremy delivered parcels of compassion. It was their life, even though it wasn't the one they had intended. The tale of Zach and Tori Roloff is far from ended. One chapter ended when a house sold for $1.2 million. Their life was rocked by arrest. And their love was put to the test by a divorce. However, they have demonstrated the true meaning of family throughout it all. Despite a movement in the ground, standing together. What will happen to them next? Time will tell. However, one thing is for sure. Their quest for happiness is far from over. Additional updates. Rumors that Tori Roloff is pregnant. What? The rumors are accurate. No. In a recent picture of 3 children in a family vehicle, Tori Roloff is actually pregnant, and Little People followers criticize her for making a risky parenting choice. I'll tell you all about it. Tori, who is 31 years old, shared a picture of herself in a sleeveless denim dress. The Little People Big World actress crossed the wooden floor in brown sandals while showing off her stunning legs. Her lengthy arms were flexed. In her hand, the TLC star held a pair of sunglasses. She accessorized with identical gold earrings and bracelets. Tori posted a picture of herself with highlights in her shoulder-length brunette hair and wrote, "Had to check out the Abercrombie denim sale." The mother of 3 has previously revealed whether or not she was seeking a 4th child. Earlier in August, Tori put an end to rumors that she was considering growing her family by writing on Instagram, "No, I am not pregnant. I feel like my body has been through a lot." Following the birth of her child, Tori acknowledged that she found it difficult to feel at ease in her own skin. "One of my children was miscarried, and the other 3 were delivered via cesarean section. I believe we have been fairly transparent about our desire to have no more children," as she stated. She replied, "No, I am not expecting. One of my children was miscarried, and the other 3 were delivered by C-section. I feel like my body has been through a lot." Following, Tori said that she found it difficult to feel at ease in her own skin after giving birth. The TV personality also thought about getting plastic surgery to increase her self-esteem. "Because I had a belly, I considered getting a tummy tuck or doing something different. However, I also believe that God has blessed me with 3 lovely children and a life that I am really content with. I'm proud of my body's ability to carry 3 infants to term, sustain 3 wounds, and yet be able to move around. I have no regrets about my body," she said, "and am completely astounded by it." The TV personality said in his closing remarks, "You have no concept how destructive it could be to a mother who cannot have more babies who may wish to have more kids. I don't." Tori and her husband Roloff, 33, have 3 children: Jackson, 5, Joa, 1, and Lila, 3. By the end of July, when the couple celebrated their 8th wedding anniversary, the baby rumors began to circulate. A collection of images from Zach's wife's lake vacation was shared on the internet. Zach wore shorts and a t-shirt for a more laid-back vibe, while Tori looked stunning in a floral frock. "Happy anniversary to my favorite person. I am so grateful to God for your choice of me, and I enjoy being your wife," Tori wrote. "I adore you, sweetie. I still cannot get enough of you even after 8 years and 3 gorgeous babies." Lil People Big World fans previously expressed concern for Zach Roloff after he disclosed health issues related to having dwarfism, and there are now rumors that Zach has cancer, and those reasonable concerns have escalated again. But is there any truth to these rumors, no matter where they come from? I'll explain everything. Zach has androplasia dwarfism, which has affected his bone growth throughout his life, and he has excelled at sports, primarily soccer, for the majority of his childhood. Zach may have bowed legs, obesity, and delayed motor development as a result of this condition. Though he has already had back surgery and leg strengthening, Zach has not publicly acknowledged having cancer of any kind, and it is unclear where the rumors are coming from. Nevertheless, Zach's health seems to be rapidly declining. Fans claim that while he has a history of sporadic health problems, a cancer diagnosis does not seem to be one of them. Zach was diagnosed with degenerative disc disease on Little People, Big. While Zach's health does come up on the show a lot, Tori Roloff revealed on Instagram in March 2021 that she had her own struggles after miscarrying that child. Unfortunately, Tori lost the baby that would have been their 3rd child at 6 weeks pregnant. World, which has resulted in a shrinking spinal canal. Zach does not have cancer, but it undoubtedly has to do with his dwarfism. At least he hasn't told anyone yet. Already have 2 children together. The viewers of Little People World had already seen Tori and Zach lose their dog, Sully, to liver cancer when Sully was only 3 years old, and both Tori and Zach were devastated by the loss. After the episode, in which Zach and Tori bid their dog farewell, Tori wrote on Instagram that knowing they had lost the baby had made her feel never so heartbroken, angry, and afraid in a single time. Son Jackson growing up with Sully at his side. Similar to Zach and even his parents, Tori has voiced her worries about the health problems her kids might face in the future because both of them were born with dwarfism. In season 23, when it seemed that their daughter Lila was experiencing a more serious illness than a stomach ailment, Tori stated that she was more concerned about her kids than she would be if they were normal height. "You always have this background of what could be wrong when," she said at the time, "you are raising 2 kids with dwarfism, and I am a little more sensitive when it comes to making sure that my children receive the right medical treatment." In a recent picture of 3 children in a family car, Tori Roloff, 32, and her husband, 33, Zach Roloff, have already come under fire for their parenting choices. A well-known Reddit forum dedicated to that subject reposted a picture of Tori with her 6-year-old son Jackson. In the selfie, Jackson was seen standing next to the TLC star, who was in the front seat of the car. Behind the mother and son were Lila, age 3, and Joa, age 1, buckled up in front-facing car seats. Are they not conducting any studies on vehicle safety? Read the Reddit post. According to the author of the article, Washington is one of the states that forbids parents from placing their infants in a forward-facing position until they are 2 years old. Additionally, since they are small people, it will probably take. She and Audrey, the Reddit user, came to the conclusion that, "I swear they do not know how to keep their kids safe in a car." One person commented that they simply do not care in the common area, while more admirers stated, "Eek, so dangerous." They took longer to fulfill the specifications for height and weight that face forward. It's amazing how ignorant people can be about the safety of their kids. Do they not search the internet for everything? Another added, "I Google everything. She just had to read the damn car." One commenter responded, "Seat manual, not Google." Another said, "They seem to be indifferent to it." However, a fifth said, "They are free to do anything they want on a land." Her fans were alarmed by a recent photo of Tori's oldest child. Yesterday, the TV personality shared family photos to Instagram, where she took pictures of her husband, Zach Roloff, and son, Joa, while watching basketball games. "My guy's on the photo," Tori wrote, adding a basketball emoji and a white heart, as the 6-year-old Jackson, wearing a black t-shirt, shorts, and red sneakers, appeared to be hurrying across the court while dribbling the ball. However, Jackson's legs, which were clearly bent in the photo, caused Tori's social media followers to argue in the comments section. "Please, Lord, lead Zach Roloff and Tori Roloff to the best doctor to repair. The poor little boy must be in pain from basically walking on his ankles because every time I see them, they get worse and worse. Please, Lord Jesus, take him under your wing." Tori quickly responded, "My son has never once complained or shown signs of leg pain. The best medical professionals and devoted parents are taking care of him. You should move this data to another location." Tori's upload of pictures from Joa's birthday party with a rodeo theme. Jackson followers were worried about his health earlier this year. Many readers commented on Jackson's crooked legs, and some of them asked him if he would get surgery to correct the problem. "What a beautiful family. I assume Jackson underwent surgery to mend his legs." One person commented, "It is fun to see your show. Is he going to have any additional leg straightening surgeries?" Another person wrote, "Check out the Shriners in your region. They will help Jackson without charging you." "His legs?" a third admirer inquired. When a video of Jackson walking down an airport jetway went viral last month, people were astonished. One admirer commented, "Jackson's legs are becoming increasingly arched. This child must be really painful to walk." In 2021, the youngster of the TV personality underwent surgery to help rectify the bending in his legs. Zach and Tori discussed potential future memories as the entire family boarded an aircraft for summer vacation. Tori posted several pictures and videos to Instagram right from the beginning of their journey. Images of the family sitting in their seats and gazing at them as they took off were posted. Tori filmed herself as she followed Jackson and Lila down the long boarding tube of the aircraft. Jackson carried a rucksack and a blanket on his shoulders. Lila was holding 2 frozen dolls next to him. Lila reassured her mother as they walked that she wouldn't become sick on the flight. As they sped down the slope, Layla and Jackson's long, swift steps were clearly visible. The elementary school kid was soothed by the picture, particularly after a video of Jackson strolling to Joja's crib while the little youngster laughed had been posted a few days earlier. The footage demonstrated that Jackson's legs remain bent even after undergoing surgery to straighten them. Many individuals were startled by Jackson's gait. "I feel sorry for Jackson," as the original Reddit poster stated. "The operation seems to have been pointless. In whatever other manner they can, I hope they can assist him in walking. No more." Today. What are your thoughts on today's gossip? Please share your thoughts in the comment section and subscribe to our channel to receive future updates of similar kind. Thank you.